Zane Clodfelter with OttersTV here with Evansville starter Austin Nicely. Austin, you had a really impressive performance again on the mound in Evansville's win over the Florence Freedom on Saturday. What were some of the keys for you to have that successful night?
I think getting ahead early, really helped, and being able to kind of establish keep them off balance and try to pitch backwards in a sense, and I think that paid off and kind of kept it pretty stress-free for the most part.
Our good friend Nate Gatter, who's the broadcaster for the Gateway Grizzlies, was doing the math during your start against the Grizzlies a week ago, and since June, your ERA is around 2.4, one of the better ERAs in the league. So what has led to this turnaround after a pretty rough month of May?
I think the biggest thing is trying not to do too much. I think, I came in, start of the year, had a couple rough ones. Not saying I was trying to do too much, but kind of cleared it all and got back to the basics of what kind of I've leaned on for so long now, and really not hit the panic button as many times as I kind of wanted to, and just take one outing at a time. And it's kind of paid off to some good numbers, I guess, and good outings down the stretch.
And it has to help knowing that you have a pitching coach that knows the skills that you have in a manager too.
Yeah, I mean, it would. I said all along. I met with Max. After my first couple, and it was rough times per se. But without a pitching coach as a Max and a manager as an Andy of the trust they had in me was definitely kind of some confidence for sure. Because many other places I wouldn't have gotten the chances that I have to even have the second half that I've had.
A lot of pitchers have been signed to affiliated baseball. How much did you kind of take it upon yourself once Patrick was signed and Randy to kind of be the guy that could be the stopper there?
I think as a pitching staff, we all kind of that's something Max preaches, that nobody has to be like Cy Young or Nolan Ryan, but just everybody pick it up a little bit, and that will kind of try to help replace especially when you had 3, 4, 5 guys get picked up.
Yeah.
From a good staff already. It definitely hurts, but I think we've done a pretty good job of, as a combined group, just everybody picking it up and kind of I guess band-aided it in a sense.
You were here last year. The Otters went to the playoffs, but they only won 51 games. As we're talking right now, you've already surpassed that win total, and there's still over a week left in the season. So what has been different to have such an even better season this year?
I think just consistent day in, day out. Kind of play, not riding a losing streak too long, or not getting too lows with the lows or highs with the highs. And I think just all around, just trying to take care of business every day. It's been a fun group. Last year was a great team too, and just kind of weird how we were talking this morning of how different a year can make. 51 wins get you in the playoff last year, and 51 wins definitely isn't getting you in this year. I think that it's just weird how the league works, but hopefully we can continue to win some games here down the stretch, and then make a little better playoff push than we made last year.
Yeah, and then when do you start paying attention to the standings?
I'd be lying if I haven't looked in the last week. I've been kind of keeping up with it, but at the same time, we're in a position where every win matters.
Yeah.
If you win out, you don't need any help.
Right.
The more that we kind of take care of our own business, we got 7 games left. The more wins we get, the less we need a couple losses down the stretch. So hopefully, we take care of business today, and then worry about tomorrow, and hopefully we're where we need to be come next Sunday.
It's still really nice when that magic number is down.
It's down to a couple.
Yeah,
digits.
just down to
Nice.
to one hand. And then finally, I've asked the last couple people who have been on here superstitions, and each player has given me a handful of superstitions. Are you a superstitious guy when it comes to baseball?
I used to be really bad. I used to be same dress. If I threw well, same stuff to the field, same food, same everything. The older I get, I like to say that I've cut it back a little bit.
Okay.
I will kind of wear something similar to the ballpark, but I've kind of gotten where I don't want to use it out. I say if I keep wearing the same thing, it's going to eventually kind of lose its magic. So, but same food. I kind of go the same sort of meal pregame, and time. For me, timing's everything. So I start my routine at the same time. same, each thing has its own kind of time.
What's the meal, and then the last thing, why as you got older did you kind of back off those superstitions?
The meal normally I go like a breakfast, so like Cracker Barrel,
Okay.
or we depend on the road, like first times or first watch, something like that. That's the first thing, and then I go Chipotle right before the game.
Okay.
And then I think just you realize it doesn't really matter. I think it's like one of those things where I've had enough good outings without stuff.
Yeah.
You play long enough, you don't have a Chipotle close by, or you don't have, you forget that you wore that shirt the last time and you throw all right. It's like, okay, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of goes in tides, I would say.
I'll always be superstitious. I can't
Always
help
have to have
myself.
a little bit.
Yeah, I can't help myself. He's Austin Nicely. He'll be a big part of the Otters push for the postseason. I'm Zane Clodfelter. This has been Otters TV.